This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
On the south today, the cause of the 5,000 hectare Lake Ohau fire which ravaged Mackenzie Basin in 2020 has been found. Dunedin businessman Sir Ian Taylor's goal of proving people can self-isolate continues. And Otago Polytechnic art students show off their collections ahead of their final exhibition. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The 5,000 hectare fire at Lake Ohau in October 2020 destroyed 48 buildings, took 9 days to fully extinguish, and caused more than $1.3 million worth of damage. This morning, Fire and Emergency New Zealand released 2 reports into the huge fire in the Mackenzie Basin.
Fire and Emergency New Zealand has today published 2 reports into the Lake Ohau fire of 4 October 2020.
The investigation determined the Lake Ohau fire was accidental and caused by an electrical circuit on a power pole several kilometres upwind from the Lake Ohau village.
The total cost of fighting this fire was over $1.3 million. But FENZ Area Manager Mike Grant is still counting the region's blessings.
Thankfully, no lives were lost, largely because of the quick actions from the village residents who enacted the community's wildfire plan and the swift response and evacuations by the Twizel and Omarama fire brigades and local police.
He commended the bravery and quick thinking of the village residents and local brigades.
Lives would certainly have been lost without their prompt and courageous actions that day.
The Lake Ohau fire destroyed 48 homes and buildings and damaged more than 5,000 hectares of land, making it one of New Zealand's most significant wildfires in recent history. The fire service has been working with the Lake Ohau community for more than 20 years and says they'll continue to support them and will be working with locals to update their wildfire response plan. In Lake Ohau, the South Today.
A body found in central Otago's Clutha River is believed to be that of missing Alexandra man Wayne Hammond. The identity is yet to be formally confirmed, but police believe it is the 50-year-old who's been missing since the 1st of November. The body was found about 1.5 kilometres from the Roxburgh Dam. Hammond has been missing for over 2 weeks after he left his Alexandra home at about 7:30 a.m. on November the 1st. His car was found about 3 p.m. under the Clyde Bridge at the start of the Clyde-Alexandra track. It sparked a large-scale search, including a police dive squad searching the stretch of the Clutha River between Clyde Dam and the Clyde Bridge. Dunedin businessman Sir Ian Taylor is among the first New Zealanders trialling self-managed isolation in Auckland. The Animation Research Limited founder is aiming to prove that people can safely isolate by themselves.
Dunedin's Sir Ian Taylor direct from the USA to self-isolation in Auckland and flying the flag for a Kiwi-made product.
This one is a New Zealand alternative that I've been using here on my self-isolation. It's made by a New Zealand company, Raco Science.
Speaking from Auckland on his 8th day in isolation yesterday, Sir Ian says his point will be proven when the government lets New Zealanders stuck overseas back into the country in time for Christmas. He's confident this Kiwi-made system is very simple to use.
All you need, you're going to test a spoon in a little vial like this, so anybody can be trained to do this. You don't need specialists, because all I'm going to do is put my saliva in the teaspoon, put it into the vial, or the saliva vial, and hand it back to the person who gave it to me.
The animation research owner spent a week in Los Angeles and San Francisco hosting business meetings. He recently returned to Aotearoa to enter the government's self-isolation trial, even donning a tux from his room to present an Emmy Award to colleagues last week via the web. In Dunedin, the South Today.
69 Southern District Health Board staff have been stood down following the introduction of vaccine mandates for the health and disability sector. The staff are among 1,309 District Health Board personnel across the country who are no longer allowed in their workplace due to the COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Workers are now required to be vaccinated if they come into close contact with those who cannot receive the Pfizer vaccine or are at increased risk of catching COVID-19. Lead DHB Chief Executive Rosemary Clements says they are consulting with the unvaccinated staff to support them and try to encourage them to consider vaccination. The academic year is coming to a close, and with it, thousands of students are leaving town for the summer. At Otago Polytech, it's a chance for graduates to showcase their work, with students at the School of Art displaying their collections as part of their final show.
3 budding artists and 3 divergent styles of art.
And this year I've really focused on drawing, so all of these are coloured pencil drawings, and so are these on here, and that's my big area of interest.
Digital aspect was pretty hard to sort of sort out, so I chose to use stone as a medium because it is physical and it interacts with bodies.
Pageants are highly curated. I really played into that. I mimicked it so that I could understand why it's important.
The trio are part of this year's graduates at the Dunedin School of Art, who are exhibiting the highlights of their final year's work at Site 2021. For Victoria Tong, her pieces reference her biracial upbringing in Dunedin, being half Chinese and half Caucasian.
Meant to reflect the very multifaceted nature of being Chinese and Pākehā, being biracial, sometimes not an easy thing.
Jacob Tucker has used stone as a medium for his art, which he believes can illustrate the heaviness and hint towards a lightness of being.
And well, connecting with people and making like better decisions around how you interact with technology and the digital and social media, etc.
And while many artists paint on canvas or sculpt with materials, Emily Crooks has used herself as a canvas. Her series of works highlights the myths around beauty pageants from the 1950s to 1980s.
The woman who's responsible for pageantry as it was in the 70s and 80s was actually a woman named Lenora Slaughter.
Crooks describes beauty pageants as openly grotesque. During her study, she was shocked to read the rules young women had to follow to enter pageants until the late 1950s.
Be between the age of 18 and 25, she can't have been married, she can't have ever been pregnant or a mother, she can't be dating anyone. Until 1958, they said that contestants must be of good health and white race.
She's also linked her research to the pageantry of how social media influencers operate on Instagram. Site 2021 opens its doors to the public at the Dunedin School of Art on Friday night. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. The popular Kiwi water park at Lake Dunstan is expanding, but not all in the local community approve.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
I think the best thing about it is we're all there to ride safely and deliver that message to, some of the kids that are out there, hopefully showcase that riders and drivers can integrate together. So yeah, it's just being part of sharing that message really of riding safely when you're out on the road.
Welcome back. A Dunedin business which paid a ransom after being crippled by a cyber attack has prompted a warning to take the threat seriously. The local business was the target of a 2-week attack in September. Its identity is being kept secret for security reasons. However, the cyber attack took out its computer systems, telephone and commercial data. The business finally paid the hacker's ransom to restore its system, despite police recommendations against it. Security expert Sam Mulholland from Standby Consulting says it's a reminder for businesses to take cybersecurity seriously, as attacks could literally ruin a company. A popular Central Otago swimming spot is about to get a new water feature, but not everyone is happy about it. The Kiwi Water Park, launched on Lake Dunstan at Lowburn last year, was a massive hit. However, the bouncy castle-style water park is doubling in size, with the Central Otago District Council approving a move down the river, slightly closer to Cromwell. The park is moving to a more sheltered location, which is often used by young families, who will now have to move further down the river. While the consent for the park does meet council requirements, locals are disappointed at the lack of public consultation around the water park. After the break on the South today, we chat with a Dunedin resident celebrating her 100th birthday, and we take a look at tomorrow's weather for you.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency, and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
just plan your route a little bit, choose nice and quiet roads. In the winter it's always nice to ride north and south, that way you get the driest route and less likely to hit black ice.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Welcome back. One happy Dunedin resident has celebrated her 100th birthday, attributing a key aspect to her longevity. Connie Nelson has fond memories of her life, from seeing her classmates leaving for World War II to the 1979 Abbotsford slip.
Birthday to you. Hearing happy birthday for the 100th time. Centenarian Connie Nelson celebrated her birthday milestone at the Oxford Court Rest Home with a 1920s Great Gatsby theme, the decade she was born. Connie grew up in Mornington and has lived in Dunedin for her whole life. She met her late husband Bill here in the 1940s when he came up to visit and ended up working alongside him.
I was a tailoress, and then in 1968 my husband started to sell Orley products, and then a few years later I helped him.
At 100 years old, Connie can still move around without her frame and attributes one key aspect in keeping fit: walking.
We walked to school. My parents didn't have a car, so if we went out for the day to St Clair, we walked there and back from Wellington.
Connie celebrated her birthday surrounded by friends and family, although her Australian relations were unable to join her in person. She's making the most of her celebrations though. Yesterday's party was just one of 3 she's planning over the next week. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Santa Claus is adding a COVID protection piece of clothing to his iconic outfit this year. Santa's grotto is still popping up at the Meridian Mall this Christmas season, with St Nicholas wearing a face mask to go with his fluffy white beard. A socially distanced queue will also be in place with one-way traffic to the big man, along with compulsory sign-ins and distancing for festive photos. Santa's helpers will also wear masks, and all of the North Pole team will be double vaccinated. Toitu Otago Settlers Museum will be making similar adjustments to its Santa setup around Pixie Town. In previous years, pet owners flocked to Nichols Dunedin Pet Centre for Santa's photos, but this December they'll be greeted by a cardboard cutout instead. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. An electrical short circuit is believed to be the cause behind the 5,000 hectare Lake Oahu fire which spread through the Mackenzie Basin in 2020. Dunedin businessman Sir Ian Taylor has returned to Aotearoa and is currently trialling self-managed isolation to show that it can be done. And Otago Polytechnic art students show off their collections ahead of their graduate exhibition, which opens tomorrow evening. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome Barry Stewart. What have you got for us in tomorrow's paper?
Hello Mel. Well, we've got an update on the Oahu fire story. Now Network Waitaki is disputing the FENS report, so that's led to one of the biggest fires in New Zealand's history. So more on that in the paper tomorrow. Also residents are considering whether to take legal action. So more to come on that one. An iconic little area, the Brighton camping ground. Well, that has been sold, and and is closing as a camping ground, and we understand a construction company has bought it. So yeah, that's the you remember the little canoes and things there in the day?
That was
I think
source
they're gone for a while, but
yeah.
yeah, interesting little spot there. But anyway, that's moving on. And some good news. Almost 2 years after it was meant to open its doors to patients, the much delayed Dunedin Hospital intensive care unit upgrade might finally happen. So it looks like it's on its way towards being commissioned. So that's going to offer a few more services there, which would be good in light of what is heading our way.
Yeah.
DCHL debt, well, the Dunedin City Council appears set to increase the amount of money it and its companies can borrow to $1.2 billion. The ceiling previously was 975,000. So
that is quite a huge rise.
it is. So
yeah.
Gives them a bit of room to move.
Oh, I mean, you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view of a road cone near the top of Dunedin's railway station. Looking at the situation, a weakening front will bring mild northerly airflow to the region tomorrow and Saturday, but colder, showery southerly airflow on Sunday, so the clouds should stay away long enough for you to catch a glimpse of the blood micromoon on Friday, last seen in New Zealand around 800 years ago. Across to the northwest, it's a sunny day for this region with the occasional cloud. 17 degrees for Westport, Greymouth reaches 18 degrees. Moving to the northeast, the sun's out in Nelson and Blenheim too with moderate winds. Nelson reaches 20 degrees and Blenheim 23. And the sunny weather continues right down to the Canterbury coast. Kaikoura sees a high of 19 degrees, Christchurch reaches 16 with moderate to strong winds, and Ashburton has a region high of 22. And it's mainly fine heading further south with freshening northwesterlies and increasing cloud. The Catlins and Balclutha both see a high of 23 degrees, Lumsden and Gore also with freshening northwesterlies but with late rain and 21. And it's similar in central for most here with freshening northwesterlies and high cloud increasing throughout the day. Queenstown reaches 21, 22 for Wanaka, and Alexandra is the warmest on 23 degrees. Te Anau also with freshening northwesterlies, but get the umbrellas ready for rain and 18 degrees. Further north along the coast, it's moderate northerlies with fine weather for Timaru and Oamaru. Timaru reaches 25 degrees and Oamaru 24. Moving inland to Twizel and Amarama, it's sunny with high cloud increasing and freshening northwesterlies. Twizel reaches 24 and Amarama 23. In Dunedin, fine tonight with northeasterlies and an overnight low of 6. Sunny periods at first tomorrow, but high cloud increasing during the day. Moderate north to northwesterly winds, which will become fresh later on. A high of 23 and a low of 11. And Saturday is cloudy with a few showers at first in the morning and mild northerly winds, but expect colder fresh southerlies developing during the afternoon with low cloud and some light rain. A high of 18 and a low of 9. And moving to Invercargill, fine with northerly winds tonight with an overnight low of 5. Milder northwesterlies freshening during the day tomorrow with increasing cloud. There'll be some rain later on at night, a high of 19 and a low of 9. Periods of rain easing to showers during the day on Saturday with fresh cold southerly winds developing, a high of 15 and a low of 7. And that's the news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. Remember, you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe to be notified of southern news as it happens. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.